We're now marking 50 years of occupation. 50 years of occupying a land and a people. The Torah teaches that every 50 years we mark a year as a Yovel, as Jubilee year, and teaches that v'kidashtem et shnat ha-chamishim shana, that you should sanctify the 50th year. What does that mean? Like, how do you sanctify a year? It's not something that happens automagically. Like, the Torah doesn't say, and the year will be sanctified. It's not in the passive tense. We have to do something. You will sanctify this year. It doesn't happen on its own. Our tradition comes to the conclusion that a Beit Din, a religious legal court, needs to declare the year holy. The court needs to take decisive action to mark the year's holiness in some way. In other words, we need a legal and political and religious mechanism to be enacted in order to do this work and to make the holiness. It's still not very specific, though. So then I looked to the Holiness Code, to Leviticus 19, Parshat Kiddushim, where it's taught Kiddushim Tihiyu, right? You should be holy because I, God, am holy. And there we get a few more specifics. We see a number of different commandments, some of which are about ritual observance, some of which are about interpersonal observance, and many are about creating justice in our society. They're about caring for the poor. They're about welcoming the stranger in your community. They're about making sure that the most needy and most vulnerable in our midst are cared for, and reminds us that those needs matter and that the work of becoming holy is about recognizing and attending to those needs. There's another dimension of holiness as well. The Netivot Shalom, a 20th century Hasidic Rabbi, teaches that holiness is a very high madriga. It's a high level of spiritual attainment. And he cites Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, who says that purity, that Torah, that's an important level of spiritual attainment, but it's a negative one. The work of becoming pure is about cleansing ourselves of evil, cleansing ourselves of misdeeds. But holiness is about understanding that we ultimately are dedicated to God. It's positive work. It's about offering ourselves to God, understanding that we are set apart from God, that our land is set apart from, is dedicated to the divine, for the divine purpose, perhaps for nothing else. Once in 50 years, we have the opportunity to create a year that has that whole entire level of holiness. But the way we get there is that each and every Jew, according to the Netivot Shalom, needs to do the inner work of cleansing and purifying oneself until they deeply, truly attain a deep in their soul understanding that the land belongs to God. That we can't do the work of creating this Yovel year, of creating a year of holiness and Jubilee, if we don't, each and every one of us, do the work to not only believe in our heads, not only to sort of buy into, but to really understand deep in our deepest soul that the land belongs to God. The work of sanctifying the 50th year is absolutely about engaging every legal and political process available to us, right? About doing the work of Parshat Kiddushim, of creating justice in the world, justice for Palestinians, justice for those who are living under occupation. But it's not only that. We also need to do this deep, deep inner work to transform ourselves so that we can understand, really, from our most innermost place, that the land belongs to God. And studying the Torah source book is part of the way that can help get us there. Engaging in activism that can help bring us there is one way. And to some degree, we just need to cleanse out all of the impurities and all of the biases and all of the ways that our own hearts have been consciously or subconsciously hardened, and to let those go so that we can clear the rung of purity and elevate to the rung of holiness.